Hey people, into tier 3v3 Typhon Arena, blue side. It's Floid as a Lictor alpha melee specialist that can infiltrate and disrupt some awesome offense and some support too, alongside lead designer and founder of Elite Mod. It's Caeltos as a Chaos Lord, durable and destructive commander, walks through objects and cannot be suppressed on very good offense and disruption fights, mainly in melee combat. Rounding off this blue team, 4-time MRT winner, it's Dark Riku as a Lord General. Fights range combat begins with his retinue of stormtroopers to help him out. Really good defense and support, has some awesome buffs this guy. Red team, a whole bunch of Orks. First up is SuperHooper as a Kommando knob, infiltrating commander that shoots you, stabs you and blows you up. Orky style begins range combat with that twin link shooter, alongside HansMoleman is a Mekboy, teleporting commander that fights range combat, puts up some good damage, can also support, disrupt, build structures and repair, and is going to have to get away from these heretics. And rounding off the teams is 5-time MRT winner Noisy, playing a Warboss, melee commander that walks through objects, very good offense, disruption and support from the front lines. Special attack misses. Triple Orks then. Expect a lot of WAAAGH banners bottom. In fact, do I already spot one? Yes I do. Noisy's already put one up. Loves to use these things early on. They're not free, remember, they do cost 75 requisition, which is what, 3 or 4 sluggers worth of rec. So you need to be aggressive, I think, and try and get those model losses to increase the pressure on your opponent's rec. They don't give any defensive benefits, I don't think. It's all movement and damage buffs that they give. There's another WAAAGH banner all the way back here. Get that little movement buff out of base perhaps. Another WAAAGH banner again, this time from Noisy again. I think you're only meant to be able to get 3 of these per player, unless you're the Mekboy who can build them himself. But I think I remember seeing Noisy getting 4 of those up as the Warboss, so I'm not sure if it's working completely correctly. These sluggers in trouble. Lictor Alpha going after them, has a really powerful melee weapon to start off with, and that's a special attack, almost finishes them off. Can he do so alongside that Chaos Lord? Chaos Lord might get one more hit. Boom! Look how much XP the Chaos Lord has already, almost half a level. Not even 2 minutes in, I don't think. Nice spawn mine usage, and the double shooters are forced off. Killed a weakened retreat path, way too late. Not going to hit any models. Chaos Lord backs off, wait for some support from his Chaos Space Marines. Is he going to push the power again? No, he's not. He's going top. Are we going to see the Assassin's Knife from SuperHooper to try and get some quick model kills on the warriors, and also gives him triple shot, doesn't it? So he can try and control that Lictor Alpha somewhat. You don't see a knife that often in team games because his range weapons are so awesome. The shotgun in tier 2 and the rocket launcher in tier 3, but he can always transition into a tier 3 rocket launcher if he wants to. I think the Assassin's Knife might do him quite well at the top there, in the kind of solo area of the map at the top. But at the moment it's not so solo because Caeltos is helping out there, capping up. Might do him some good against the Lictor Alpha. Since that flesh hook was nerfed, it's not nearly as bad when it's pulling things in, I find. Doesn't pull you nearly as far. One WAAAGH banner goes down. As you can see, they have 800 hit points, which is pretty good. That is going to be reduced in the next update, it looks like, down to I think 500. There's that Frazzle ability, which increases the buffs from the WAAAGH banners, and that will all stack up. Are we going to see the boss pole alongside this? No, we're not. We see Angry Bits, which he loves to use, and look at that charge. Look at this, disrupting like 2 armies worth of stuff. That's crazy. Gives him that big boon to health regeneration, and he combined that with spiky armor. You don't want to fight this guy in melee combat. And as you can see, he puts Ardboys on himself, which is a 25% damage resistance buff from the global bar of the Warboss, and it allows him to soak up so much damage, but he doesn't have the support here, so he's forced off. There's a Pain Boy in the field for Noisy. Tier 1 sub-commander for Orks, has a heal over time ability that can only affect Orks, can also detonate models for damage and knockback in tier 2, and he can actually detonate himself, which is pretty hilarious and happens sometimes on a misclick. Commander knob decapping blue team's natural. Shooter boys doing what they do best in shooting, and those guys capping. Sluggers burning down a generator, do they? These guys are going to force melee combat to stop that? No, they don't. They do have Eternal War though. That's a 20% flat damage buff to the Chaos Space Marines, both melee and range damage. This is the Night Lord's elite scheme, by the way. Is it recolored? It might be recolored slightly. No, I don't think it is. It's pretty cool though. Chaos Space Marines set to get a new ability in the next update, thanks to their aspiring champion. We'll see how that works out. Hasn't been finalised yet. 401, 500, a 2-to-1 cap for the red team. Dark Riku with heavy weapon squad into some Catechans. Very versatile unit. Can disrupt from range, can counter melee, can support with a smoke bomb, and also put down a very sneaky improvised explosive, which they have done over here, as you can see. And you need detectors to spot this thing, and even then it's not that easy to spot because you don't get a big icon like you do when you spot mines, so you still need to look out for them. They don't have any detectors that I can see. You need the shooter knobs, and they don't have any. Looks like it's going to kick off around this VP. Blue team have it at the moment, and blue team are taking a natural back. Looks like that's Floid at the top. Really fluid game so far. Floid bottom for a lot of the game, and Caeltos pushing mid a lot. In fact, that is the Chaos Lord capping and the Lictor Alpha lurking around mid. 376, 500. Floid with his standard build these days. He goes for double warriors, one with a barbed strangler, one without, with double termagants to back them up. Really powerful build in tier 1. Lots of pressure if you can avoid bleed too much and transition to tier 2 in a timely manner. Painboy chasing down CSM. I'm not sure. Oh, Noisy looks like he lost. Wow, lost both of his sluggers. What the heck happened? 376, 488. Bashing power though. Lots of pressure from the red team. SuperHooper coming mid to support. Has 2 fully upgraded shooter boy squads, and that is a heck of a lot of piercing damage in tier 1 from 2 of those squads. It's scary, especially combined with the Kommando Nob's own range weapon, which is not too shabby, the default one. Warboss in retreat, fully kitted out with Bang Bang Hammer. Lots of investment on this Warboss. He needs a return on that. Replaces one of his lost sluggers. Here they are. Melee unit. Not up to a whole lot by default. They do a reasonable amount of damage, but they're very slow on their feet. Once they get into tier 2 and get their knob bleeder, though, they become exponentially more frightening. 376, 461. These are SuperHooper's sluggers. As you can see, the knob bleeder already queued up for tier 2, and they have their burners. Gives them a 15% health increase and some power melee weapons. As you can see, the knob leader also improves the health of the entire squad when he hits the field. Here's the awesome Swampum as well. We have Heretics with Aspiring Champion and grenade launchers, and power harass from blue team. Some improvised explosives here, even more of them. Need to manually detonate them. They're not like a mine, they don't go off by themselves, so you need to keep an eye on them. Here comes the Warboss going after those Catechans, and that was the shotgun blast. Knockback and suppression does not last very long though. He didn't set off the improvised explosive there. I thought he was going to hit those sluggers. He set off that one. Sluggers already under the heal over time from the Painboy, and that one demolished them in retreat path. Ouch. I wonder if it was an improvised explosive that helped wipe his other 2 sluggers. He's going tier 2. In fact, all players tier 2 apart from Floid with those double warriors. SuperHooper with a Weird Boy. Hans already has a Weird Boy on the field, which is going to help greatly. Floid really is pushing bottom, isn't he? He's not top at all. Chaos Lord pushing mid again with his army, as Havoc's covering as well. Kommando might try and chuck his stun bomb in there. Sluggers getting suppressed. This is not good. They're getting flanked by a Dark Riku's army, and there's that basic attack, that awesome artillery basic attack from the Weird Boy. Already has his warp head. Gives him foot of Ork, which is just frightening. Really good map for it as well at the bottom of Typhon Arena. 376, 368. VPs are close. Noisy's lost 3 slugger squads. Is going into a Death Dread. Also very good on this map with those burners of bits to push gens bottom or mid. There's the Warp Vomit shutting down this Chaos Lord with a stun. He has no walk in this guy and is forced to retreat. Getting on his way to level 2. Really good grenade barrage. Wow. That's why you don't bunch your stuff up. 376, 351. Here comes the Death Dread. How quick was it moving there? Going for burners and bits immediately will take it up to 1050 hit points. I think that's getting nerfed slightly. Burners and bits. I think it's going to take him up to 950 in the next update. Quick Death Dreads, very, very difficult to deal with in 1v1s. Havocs. Those skulls and stuff, that's awesome. Didn't realise they had such a cool model with the Night Lords scheme. These guys have a las cannon, so this Death Dread is in trouble. Smack. Should be able to get out of that firing up though. Bottom, it's kicking off. Warboss charging back into his own lines. There's an improvised explosive again. And they still do not have a detector, I don't think. Not that I can see. Stormboy's on the field for Hans with the Knob Leader already, and he gets a heavy melee weapon. There's the foot of Ork. Is he going to wipe those catachans? They were in retreat, so they do survive. Might see some stick bombers from Noisy. 376, 320, 1-to-1 cap. Top is turning red thanks to some sluggers. On their way to level 2, Floid with a zone throat, and he's going for melee synapse, adrenal gland, warrior brood. That will give melee synapse to these Hormagaunts who already have their own adrenal glands. Yeah, the squad sticking to their Bob Strangler for now, and I think that's a good choice. Death Dread using its rampage to get away, or is that the cult of speed from the Mekboy? Stormboy's jumping out. What was that all about? I'm not sure. I think they wanted to avoid being suppressed. Another las cannon here from Dark Riku on the heavy weapon squad. Heavy weapon squad can get that awesome refractive field, of course. And a heavy turret going up. That's on the global bar of the Lord General. Awesome anti-vehicle damage from long range on this thing, and you can switch out that Vanquisher turret for an Executioner turret, and that's going to finish off the Death Dread, I think. One more shot. If it's in range, looks like it went out of range, or it hit terrain, not sure which. Slugger's now trying to repair this thing. It's not going to be easy for the Orks to push this. They might need a flank from SuperHooper or a bunch of stick bombers or something. Mekboy is able to repair by himself. He can also heal vehicles with his battery pack, which is unique for the Mekboy. There's a zone throat snare on the Death Dread. Is it going to turn and engage here? There's the Cult of Speed again, or is that Rampage? No idea. I think they both use the same symbol. I think that's Rampage. Trying to get away, but he does go down. Hormagaunts finished it off, really? 306, 311. Noisy does have a weird boy of his own, and it's going for bigger brains, which gives him over there, I think. Dark Riku with double heavy weapon squads, one with a las cannon and one with a heavy bolter, and that awesome refractor field, as you can see, gives damage resistance to range fire and knockback immunity. It really is an awesome upgrade for a setup team to have. Caeltos has a Chaos Dreadnought. Probably keep it default for now. With the autocannon, is he going bottom with it? I'm not sure. He might be going mid for, yeah, to support his army here. He's bashing power with a las cannon. Lightning Claw, Chaos Lord going for the Baikonov corner, I should say. Warboss gets his stomp. That's his starting ability, but he's being whittled down by these Tyranids and Imperial Guard. He needs to get away, but he's not going to. Oh, he tried to throw him out of trouble with his weird boy, but couldn't quite do it in time. I suppose it's easy for him to be revived. In fact, he's going to be revived immediately there. Haven't seen these Storm Boys jumping and going mental on something. They're going to jump after the zone throat. They're jumping in and they stun, of course, with that Knob Leader there. And they catch Floyd pretty nicely, and he needs to full retreat. Riku now on his own. What does he do? Does he retreat out? They try to back away. And he has gone for the Executioner on the heavy turret. Look at that rapid firing plasma cannon. It's nasty. And a heavy bolter there to back it up with some suppression support. Stormboys jumping in. Knob Leader jumping in last, and they're losing models left and right. These Stormboys need to be very careful. Does he have Calder Boys? I don't think it was quite close enough to use it, even if he did. Tier 3 for Floyd, Tier 3 for Riku and SuperHooper also. Red team struggling to push through bottom. There's another Capillary Tower, providing us passive buffs to Tyranids. Warboss is in here. And this Bang Bang Hammer really does hurt. It's 150 damage per hit, 75 DPS. Look at it. Peeling models off that heavy weapon squad easily. Now we go after the las cannon. HansMoleman needs to be careful with his Mekboy level 3. Trying to suppress things with that death gun. Teleports out and just about gets away. There's another foot of Ork. Let's see how much damage it does to the turret. Quite a lot. Lictor Alpha has his awesome feeder tendrils. And look at this, has the toxic cysts. 295, 249. flesh hook on the shooter knob. Those guys need to retreat. There we go. They did take the turret down. Thanks to the weird boys, I think. These guys actually do plasma cannon damage with that basic attack, which is not bad at all. But look at this. A Lumen Rush dropped from Riku. That's on the global bar of the Lord General. What an awesome ability to be able to drop a tank in the field. 295, 245. Down goes that capillary tower. Weird boy thrown away by one of the other weird boys, but unable to get over that ledge. With triple weird boys here, imagine if they could chain up those warp vomits. You just saw that guy knocked over. That was the Zone Throat's focus warp blast, which not only snares vehicles but will also knock back and do a fair amount of damage to a single infantry model, which can be useful in a pinch. 295, 239, single cap for blue. Very close on VPs though. Blue team looking pretty good. They have the top sewn up. No real pressure on their power yet. And Caeltos continuously harassing that power. Look at it. It's stripped of gens. Stormboy's jumping in. Going after the Chaos Dreadnought with that autocannon. Of course, will not have the melee resistance aura. Pretty awesome model though with the Night Lords. Heretics are there. They can support with that Pawn Worship. There it is. +2 speed to all of your units. And runs away. And now they're going to get their power harassed. The blue team, I should say. Retaining bottom though. Triple cap now. Tier 3 for Caeltos. In fact, it's tier 3 for every player. Noisy has some tank busters. Try and put some pressure on that Leman Russ. We might see the Beamy Death Gun. No sign of it yet though for the Mekboy. 295, 180. There's that Painboy heal on the Sluggers. Sluggers and Stormboy supported by Mekboy and Painboy can be pretty nasty. You might see the super tough beam as well, which is an amazing piece of support war gear that the Mekboy can get. 295, 165. 2-1 cap. HansMoleman going for some flash kits. Need a reliable way to deal with this Leman Russ though. They have tank busters, but not a whole lot else unless they can jump the Stormboys on rear armor. That's not going to be easy though. Weird boy in a little bit of trouble. Lictor up has caught up to him. One more hit might do it. Bang! Down he goes. Will now float around and explode due to his built-up psychic energy. He's still floating around. 295, 160. Very rarely do you actually see that hit anything. Warboss with odd boys on himself, but can't tank all of that stuff. Level 3 and runs out. That was Noisy's weird boys as well, and there's a Knob squad on the field for SuperHooper. Doom of Malantai for Floid. Now he can... No, he doesn't have his Termagant's top. He could crippling poison those knobs and set up the paroxysm. Stormboy's jumping in on top of the Catachans. Catachans are pretty useful in melee combat with those power melee weapons, but they can't stand against upgraded Stormboys like that. Sluggers using their Swampum also. That Leman Russ continues to be a problem. He might go for the Executioner on this thing as well. 295, 148. Knob squad on the way for Noisy. With those Warboss buffs, can be very nasty. The knobs of SuperHooper taking damage as a mark of Pawn Dreadnought. That's why this thing will now have the melee resistance aura, taking 40% less damage from melee attacks, so it'll be able to stand up to a knob squad way better than it would have, especially with that Blood Rage up. And SuperHooper needs to run away. Yeah. 293, 148. Warboss level 3. Still no Beamy Death Gun from this Mekboy. No real pressure on that Leman Russ yet, but now it changes. Tank Busters getting rear armor hits. Riku trying to get it out of there. Flash kits getting shots in, but they won't do a lot of damage with those Psychic PvP blasters. 277, 148. The Leman Russ survives. Down goes a Termagant. Wow, lost both of his Termagant brews there. Here's the Doom of Malantai. A super sub-commander type unit. Great for dealing with blobs of infantry. But can be vulnerable if you get up close to it or just try and focus it down. It does not naturally regenerate energy, so you need to use abilities to get its energy back. Because one of the big gameplay elements to this thing. Mekboy goes down, yes. Mark of Pawn Dreadnought hits tier 2, or level 2 I should say, 1300 hit points now. Need some repairs. Heretics are the repair unit for Chaos. Here are those flash kits. Look how awesome these blaster models are. I think it was Sterling who came up with these, I'm not sure, but they're awesome. Might have been David. 231-148. Baneblade on the way for Riku. Caeltos floating unreasonable amounts of wreck position, over 1,000. Looted tank for Hans. Noisy still has his Nob squad. Upgraded with Nob leader and Mina in greener. Down goes the Lictor Alpha. Caught by a Nob squad and a bunch of Orks. Didn't turn out very well for him. 216-148. The war is still in force. They have recovered well, red team. They have bottom, they have their natural, and they have Nobs on the field with flash kit support. Storm Boys still floating around, and some commanders just starting to get pretty scary. Command Nob incidentally did go for his shotgun, Mega Boom kit, and kaboom! There's going to be an important fight here. Mark of Pawn Dreadnought with Blood Rage against Nobs with Ard Boys on them, and that's a dead Dreadnought. Yeah, you can't take on 2 Nob squads, no way, with buffs and all that stuff going off. Doom and Melantai using Paroxysm and then running away. We'll see what the Chaos Lord can do versus the Nob squads with those Lightning Claws. 100 DPS power melee, and that damage will go up as he levels. Of course, he also has Armory Inferno and Icon of Khorne. Maybe he should have gone for the Demonic Visage and the Blood Maul in light of potential Nobs, since that Demonic Visage will constantly debuff them and can disrupt them with the Demon Maul, Blood Maul, whatever it's called. But we'll see. There's the Destructive Strike on demand knockback, a decent amount of damage, and there's Kill the Weak as well. Did a good job versus the Nob squad there, didn't he? 193-143. Baneblade turning to engage this Nob squad. It can suppress with those 3 twin linked heavy bolters. Nob squad continuing to push against the Leman Russ, and there is Frenzy, and that's a dead Leman Russ. Immune to suppressant and damage. No, it lives. Wow. HansMoleman almost has enough for rocks, but the other players, I guess they've used a lot of their globals because they don't have any red. We know Noisy's used Ard Boys a bunch of times. I suppose SuperHooper might have used his Hide the Boys, and he might have pulled in these Commandos also. Lots of Dakar, lots of disruption, really fun Orky unit, the Commandos. Marco Zinch, Chaos Space Marines will help to put damage pressure on the Nobs. There's that Love the Dakar. Wow, Heretics getting decimated here. Gonna lose him if he's not careful. Smack. No, doesn't get the last hit because of a very badly timed stun bomb. Saved those Heretics there. 119-143, triple cap now for the Orks. They've kept on it and they are on the way for victory here. Massive engagement bottom, a Swarm Lord and a Baneblade on the field, and the Doom of Melantai. Can the Orks stand against this? Flash Kits getting their shots in, but they're targeting the Baneblade, which they should not be targeting. There's a Rocks. I'm not sure if Hans knows that they don't do a good damage pack versus vehicles. Should be targeting a Doom or these warriors, trying to whittle them down. Swarm Lord is a scary piece of work. Really good single target melee damage, and he's speedy, which is one of his best traits. He can really march around the field. Also gives the rest of your army a speed buff and a reinforcement aura. Tank is being chased down. Can it not get through there? Oh wow, it's blocked. Down it goes. Capillary towers cannot be crushed. 73-134. Great Unclean One on the field for Caeltos. Also has some more Havocs, keeping them with their heavy bolter for now to try and control those Nobs, I would think. Another heavy weapon squad for Dark Riku. And more tank busters for Noisy. They need to try and break this Baneblade. No sign of a bunker yet, which is surprising. 73-120 is the 2-1 for blue, but can they hold on? SuperHooper massing for an assault on top, it looks like, but there's a great Unclean One there. So, he might be better off coming bottom once he spots this big fella. And Floid is hanging around mid so he can support either side when he sees trouble, and looks like there's going to be trouble top, because there goes Noisy, and his Warboss now has a power core and is getting a boss pole. Has double tank busters, running right into a paroxysm, but that's not too bad for them. 73.97, there's the foul snare from the Great and Clean One, and there's the cloud of flies. Taking damage now from tank busters. There's his Nurgle vomit stuff. Painboy gets a heal on these knobs, and they're going straight after the Great and Clean One here. I thought they were going to go after the other stuff. For some reason his Havocs are not firing. Not sure what was going on there, but they're in retreat now. And the Great and Clean One taking huge amounts of damage. 6,000 hit points of super heavy infantry armor. But it sometimes goes down remarkably quickly in a team game. He's trying to get away now. He will passively damage nearby enemies, but it's not a whole lot of damage. And his knobs will easily be able to run through it, and they're going to take him down here, aren't they? 73, 74. There's the cloud of flies. There's a creeping barrage to try and save him, and it might work. Nicely done from Riku. Awesome play, but it's going to be enough to save his team, because red team have the 2-1 at top now. This is what sometimes happens on this map. One team will dominate bottom, so the other throws everything top, and then the other team has to decide, do they give up bottom and try and fight them back, or do they perhaps concede the 2-1 on the naturals and lose the game? Riku needs to make a decision here. Does he bring the Baneblade top? Right now he doesn't. There's 2 las cannons down here and a heavy bolter. Surely they can bring something else top. Here comes the Swarm Lord going after the Nob squad. Are we going to see the Blade Flurry? Looks like we're not. He might have used it already. He's got not a lot of energy there. Nob squad really doing the business in this game. Sometimes you see them hit the field and not do a whole lot, constantly be forced off and just bleed you, but this game they've done well so far. Couldn't quite get the kill on that Great and Clean One, which has now been healed up, so we'll see. HansMoleman with a late game war truck on the field soon. Caeltos just level 2. Really? There's the Electric Galaxy Burner. Is going to wipe those shooters? No, they hit level 3 and get away. Kommando Nob there going down. Well, the Nob of the Kommando squad, I mean. 24, 74, 1-1 cap. It's so close. What's bottom? It's the Mekboy with custom force field trying to cap. Gets the decap, or is he going to be able to cap it? Baneblade firing on him with everything he's got. Down goes the shield, and now he's in trouble. Stormboy's jumping in. Down goes the Mekboy. And Weapon Squad is going to go down thanks to the Stormboys. There we go. So this must be a repair bunker, yes. 21-74. Baneblade being attacked from all sides now, is very, very isolated. Nob squad is there. That's the Demolisher Cannon. War Truck needs to move up a little bit. There's a creeping barrage again as well. He's tanking the damage here. He's not moving away. Here comes the Lehman Rust to help out. 16-74. 2-1 cap for red. They have taken bottom. Blue team though are rushing against their natural. There's that the Galaxy Burn. Only double shooters on a Weird Boy, though he might get warp vomited here. In fact, runs away before it does hit him. Doom of Melantai and a Great and Clean One and a Zone Threat moving in though. But look, some more reinforcements for the Orks. SuperHooper bringing in his knobs. 2 VPs remaining. Looks like the Orks are going to take this, and there you have it. GG indeed. An awesome 3v3. Blue team seem to be cruising. Noisy losing 3 sluggers, losing his Death Dread, losing his Weird Boy, but Noisy being Noisy, he recovers and recovers well. His Warboss, a constant pain in the arse throughout the game. Riku with double Lehman Russes at the end. Caeltos with that Great and Clean One. Can't effect Swarm Lord, Doom and Melantai, all these things. But they just couldn't deal with the sheer aggression from the Orks all over the map. Caeltos did a great job supporting top and pushing mid. I like Floyd's play as well, was bottom a lot, helping out. But the Orks stood firm. The Nobs really gave them that meat grinder unit that can just soak up so much damage and let the other stuff shoot away and smack away. And yeah, they just couldn't control that many Nob squads. in certain places at certain times, I suppose. Really difficult to do. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time.